It's time. Let's begin the Nantucket Conservation Commission meeting for June 29th, 2016. Please remember to turn off your cell phones and take extraneous conversations out in the hall. We are making a recording of this meeting, and if you record any of the meeting, you need to tell us before you start recording. With that, we'll go to the public meeting, public comment. Anything from the public on matters that aren't to be heard tonight? Okay, nothing from Emily? Okay. So we'll go to the public hearing, notices of intent. And the following are continued to July 13th. Snyder, Brock's Court, both of those, as well as Holt at 98 Squam Road. The land bank at 17 Commercial Wharf, on the other hand, is continued to July 27th. And we also have one certificate of compliance, Saratoga LLC, 14 Tennessee Ave, is continued till the 13th as well. So if there's anybody here to address those topics that can't come back on the assigned dates or wouldn't prefer to write a letter. Okay, seeing not. That takes us to Windy Joint Trust at 5 Hulbert Ave.
Jeff Blackwell for the applicant. I brought some current photographs, collection of photographs as well. Let's see what we got. When back in 2002, we worked on the application notice of intent to expand a portion of the house. The structure that's noted as storage was deemed a water-dependent use boathouse type structure, and it was constructed along the breezeway between it and the main house. And in the course of looking at closing out that permit recently, it was discovered that the highlighted walkway had been constructed but not shown on the previous order of conditions notice of intent application. So we filed a new notice of intent for that element, which is, we feel, an extension of the boathouse. It is directly adjacent to, and its function is to allow the storage of recreational elements that are associated with the water to allow access back and forth to the boathouse. So we are asking the commission to consider granting the order of conditions to maintain the decking that was installed without a permit. So that's right.
And the boardwalk going out to the coast, that's new as well? Was that permitted?
This was no. I think what happened is there'd been a footpath, which is evident on aerial photographs, and once you start carrying equipment across the sand, I think the decision was made, gee, this isn't really working, and was put down it's approximately 2 feet wide boardwalk or catwalk there to help us get back and forth to the water.
How long it's been there? So it looks quite.
It's been there.
Aged.
I think it's been there on the order of 8 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I can only look at the.
It's been there quite a while. I went and looked at it. It's pretty good. Yes, well. Still not permanent.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just curious.
I've never known it.
I was going to ask too.
Yeah.
I kind of asked too.
It seemed like.
If this
had been permitted, it would have been, we would have asked to have it be designed so that it would be raised
Right.
off the ground, but,
Right, and I think we probably would have had them go across their own lawn and
Yeah.
not into dune area.
yeah.
That looks like the Rugoso gets maybe even pruned back every year.
Well, the previous existence of the footpath would lend itself to the argument that having raised boardwalk across it is not, it's not as important to go across the lawn. You can already have an established sand track across the dune. I would offer that.
Was the footpath used by the public or just by this house? So I noticed, is that a paper street or?
I don't know of any public use, and I don't know that this street has been slated for the taking.
Ian, I represent the applicant, I can answer that question. So, there's a butter easement that runs along the same path, but it's,
Gotcha.
but it's not a public path.
Yeah.
And just in response to the, Ashley's point about the lawn, and Jeff might have the numbers, but the topography changes right there, just outside the picture. I think it goes up maybe 3 feet or something. You can't.
You can see it in the final page of the photographs. I took a picture standing on the bulkhead looking down into the lawn, and there's, hard to see, but there's 3 or 4 steps there to get you from the lawn level up into the bulkhead.
Right.
Yeah, but whoever's lugging boating equipment can handle the 3 steps, in my opinion, I guess. You know, we just, these resource areas just kind of keep getting trampled on. I know it's been there for a while, but
The other element of what intended use, though, in this case is one of the owners has become quite physically infirm, and steps do matter, not just for equipment access, but for physical access to the water. She can negotiate that boardwalk, and what amounts to 1 step over the bulkhead, much better than 3 or 4 steps.
But the property's on the market,
Properties on the market.
so.
Might sell, might not sell, I don't know.
I would say this should be, if we're going to allow this, then it should be brought into what would be compliant
yeah, I mean, you can
with our
see
standards.
dune grass trying to come up through the boardwalk in one of these photos. I mean, an area with so much development, they have a bulkhead in front of the majority of their property, and then to put something else on top of the dune, I think is a lot.
You know, I guess maybe short circuit this, we would accept it in order of conditions, or we would, you know, be very happy with an order of conditions that modernize the required, an upgrade of the boardwalk. I guess the one request I would make is that so that we don't have the Historic District Commission go absolutely ballistic if it could not be plastic or metal, if it could be made out of wood, that would be, you know, much better. And I know that issue has, you know, come up before. So as long as we can make it out of wood, the design is to allow the air and water to pass through is something that we could definitely take a conditional.
Thanks.
I think normally we requested those fiber grates for marsh crossing, you know, actual water type wetland crossing.
I don't think there's any wetland.
No.
No, it's dune. But it is, I do agree that it would be nice to have it open for sand migration and put plants under there. And well, if they're amenable to it, then would it be best to have them come back with a design then? Would that be okay, Steve? If you guys,
Sure, you could submit that to be considered for something.
okay, anything from the public? Anything else from the commission? Well, Jeff, do you want to continue this?
Yes, please.
2 weeks? Okay, unless I hear an objection from the commission, we'll continue this until the next meeting, the 13th. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Steve.
Okay, that takes us down to amended orders. Monomoy Creek Realty Trust, 12 Monomoy Creek Road.
Brian Madden from LEC Environmental Consultants. Just to reiterate, the amendment request is for revised dimensional elements for the proposed pool, patio, and boathouse cabana, and proposed garage to replace previously approved shed, and some minor reconfigurations to the driveway, and some grade changes reflective of the final design, and some minor window well adjustments for the foundation of the house. At the last meeting, you guys had gone out to the site, and the erosion control barriers have been since enhanced, and we submitted some photographs to staff that may have been forwarded to the commission members showing those areas. Kind of that's where we went at the last meeting, so I'll just turn it over to questions at this point in time.
I'll just add, we've gone and looked at it as well, since those photos have come in. And just to kind of summarize, in the areas closest to wetland resource areas, and primarily the main spot being where the gabions interface with the old driveway, piece of a good section of black silt fencing was added there to enhance that in front of it. The rest of the siltation barriers have at least been, of the white tubing that was there for erosion control, have been doubled up, so it's harder to get past. And then again, the areas adjacent to wetland areas are those with silt fence, and then a lot of the loose debris is also been removed.
Okay, so essentially what we asked to be done.
It's a lot nicer than when we went out for our fields.
Did they do any grading? Did they pull any of that sand back from the edges?
Yes. Some of those piles.
Which window wells are new on the, like, these ones?
No, I think they were shifted around a little bit. I'm trying to think if just reflective of the final as-built conditions. I think they moved a foot or two, something like that.
So closer to the wetland?
No, not closer than previously. No.
Anything else? Any other questions or comments?
I mean, do you have a plan for the replanting, revegetation? Like a
You talking
time
for the
frame?
driveway?
Yeah, for the whole thing. I mean, a lot of this was contingent upon replanting, and I feel like that's going to be the last thought, and the permit will be done in 3 years, and we'll never see that get established.
No, I think we were targeting this fall. To do that.
Okay.
I'm the contractor, we do have a landscape.
Could you introduce yourself, please?
Sorry, Will Gorman.
Thank you.
Yep, sorry about that. But there is, I do have a landscape plan which I just got, 2 weeks ago. It's been a lot of, it's comprehensive for the whole project.
Yeah, the primary reason why I wasn't done last spring is just because there was a lot of machinery moving around the house, and it's a very short area over there, but and the pool work is going to start relatively soon, so September, early October is what it's scheduled for.
So Jeff, you don't have the landscape plan either?
So should
Well, we need to have that submitted
Yeah.
before we,
Yep, I think that was a condition that was part of it.
okay. Any other questions or comments?
We have a lighting plan as well.
It's in the landscape plan. I honestly, I just wasn't missing, I just got the landscape plan finished, I'd say 2 weeks ago.
So what do you want to jump to this and until.
Yeah,
we-
let's hold it until we see the plan.
Well, I think the landscaping plan was specific to another notice, or another order of conditions. That was, we filed a separate order of conditions, because most of that work is actually on number 10. So as part of that order of conditions, I believe, there was a condition that said we had to submit a final, restoration.
That is correct. And then, to go with that, we had a condition in this original order, that if any of the replanting work were to take place within the wetland, it would require an amended order of conditions or a new notice of intent. If that makes sense.
Where are we with that? So, are we, if any of this replanting is taking place within a wetland or within the resource area, then we were asking for a new
We're asking for an amended order or a new notice.
okay, so is that the case here?
No.
It's not against that all, okay. Not on this,
So 12, so it was 10 that had the retaining wall.
Correct.
deal?
Yes.
okay.
It's just confusing because there's
Yeah.
the two separate
Yeah.
lots in the
Right.
project overlap.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's a tough one to start.
So then was 10 not in compliance then when we were there, and we need to call them up here, since a lot of the junk was left on 10's property?
All the erosion controls were enhanced
Well,
across.
Just, unfortunately, I wasn't there when you guys walked through, but I thought, I had the order conditions, I looked at them like that. Within the hay bales and everything like that, there's nothing outside the hay bales, unless I'm mistaken, and something was up there that day, but, been pretty diligent about doing that, and then trash control, and there's been no spillover of dirt or anything over those boundaries. Like, the hay bales 10 to 2 hectare, that's the third time that I've gone through and placed sections of them, but, as far as anything getting into the wetland or anything like that, it hasn't happened. There's no spillover or debris or rubble or trash. When trash gets there, I send the guy around to clean it out of there. So it may have not been the prettiest thing to look at. I did have, by the container, which is inside the hay bales, had some metal, which I was just waiting to take to the dump, to metal tires. I can't just throw in dumpsters. But it was inside the hay bales, and, tried to keep on it as best as possible. Obviously you guys saw stuff you didn't like, but, put in the additional controls, the black.
And the controls that extend across town.
okay.
But there hadn't been, hand on heart, that there was no stuff going into I added those plastic barriers, but there wasn't anything in there to begin with.
Anything else from the commissioner or the public? You guys ready to close?
I think so. I didn't see, I'll be honest, I was not on the site that day, so I didn't see it. I am gonna take, Will and Brian's word for it on that one, and Jeff, your word on this.
Yeah, and I guess when we're staking this pool and boathouse out, since you're going right up to the 50, have that.
Yeah, that whole area is a lot flatter, but we won't have any
Like, don't be adding
stockpiles.
window wells to the pool house and things like that,
Yeah. And we won't have like a big stockpile right up against the erosion controls.
There's plenty of room to put the excavating material down.
Okay, if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to close the hearing and issue the amended order? Jeff, we ready to go with that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? That carries unanimously. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to the public meeting request for determination, Cressman 2 at 300 Pulpus Road.
Sorry, Joanne, I missed a typo on the amended order here.
Okay,
Printed name, but there's,
okay.
must have been an old version of the stuff.
Shall I say that that is,
You can sign in either of the two pending ones.
applicant. This application is for review of the wetland boundary associated with repair of two failed septic systems in the Harbor Watershed District. The proposal is to put in new tanks with a enhanced treatment processor and then pump over to an area that's outside the wetland buffer zone over here. So that you may be familiar with the property from driving by, but the houses are clustered up in the front sort of. So we had to go back into this area to achieve a greater than 100 feet separation to the wetland. So it's
And you put in an innovative advanced system, Septatech or something like that, or?
yeah.
Okay. So Jeff, did you and Bruce, or you guys get
Yeah, I'll
out?
just say for the record, Bruce has a conflict on this site, so I went out and reviewed the wetland lines and would agree that they are depicted correctly.
Okay.
The one site that Bruce has a conflict on is the awesome one to go to. Lots of poison ivy.
Oh. Greenbrier's doing very well this year for some reason.
Yeah, the Greenbrier is taking off, no doubt.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, Jeff, do you have a recommendation?
I do. I would recommend a positive 2, confirming the resource area boundaries, and the negative 3 to allow for the work without this.
Do I have that motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us down to certificates of compliance, and 4 Saratoga continued, so we go with 5 on a dime, 4, 6, and 8 Pilgrim Court.
All right. File on it down. 416 Pilgrim Court. This was a project that was just the construction of a retaining wall and some landscape grading, and then essentially construction of a lawn area on that property. And upon inspection, it's built in compliance and as shown in the plan. And I would recommend that it be issued a certificate of compliance.
Do I have that motion?
Motion to issue.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? That carries unanimously. Okay, Elizabeth Bagley, DT, 123 Eel Point Road.
123 Eel Point Road, this was originally for the construction of some coastal resource area enhancement. They installed some sander fencing and some beach grass plantings. That fencing is constructed and is in good repair. Those plantings are also in good repair. And then Art wanted me to also emphasize that in the last year, no sand needed to be added, and no repairs needed to be made. So the structure is seemingly working in a good repair.
Are there any reporting requirements on this that go on?
Let me just double check.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. There's condition number 22. That's their annual reporting requirement.
So, was it supposed to be planted or just nourished?
They did plantings behind the sander fencing,
Okay.
but there's no requirement for. It's still open to a road, so there's not a real nourishment requirement. But the sander fence there is to hopefully, and they're want to minimize the loss. But in this last year, they didn't lose anything. So, for better or for worse.
Okay, do I have a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for Bagley at 123 Eel Point Road with ongoing condition number 22?
Motion issued.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries unanimously. Okay, 5 Crow's Nest Way at 5 Crow's Nest Way.
President's Way. This was for the renovation of a structure, and then they expanded some existing decks over an existing patio. So one change is on the existing deck. It's still raised up and still constructed correctly. They've added a kind of a user-installed jacuzzi on top of the deck. That's there. It's not, it's one you go buy from the store and you set up and you put on the deck. That's the only noticeable difference. I would say the site is still in compliance. And that's kind of where we are. So I just recommend that it's still in compliance.
Okay, do I have a motion to issue the certificate for 5 Crow's Nest Way?
Motion to issue the certificate.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries unanimously. Haslam at 37 Sankaty Head Road.
This is an old one. This was a very old retreat project and kind of a redo from 2005. You can kind of see from the original plan here, this is kind of what happened. It was from the coastal bank that we had here. The original house was in this area that's been replanted. They removed this house and then constructed 2 houses further away from the coastal beach and the coastal bank, and just never completed that work. Current as-built kind of shows a similar condition to what's there, but it's in compliance with the original permitted plan. It's just an older project that was never finished, but it's in compliance as well. There's no ongoing conditions needed for this. It's just a place that we'll probably see again soon as the bank is moving.
I can't believe that's long. I worked on that project originally, and
Okay.
I'm just amazed that it's still there.
Yeah, maybe you can see from, the bank has definitely moved in the last 10 years, 30 or 40 feet.
Yeah.
So at some point they'll begin to probably start moving back again.
Yeah.
But that'd be retreat number 2.
Right.
But it's in compliance.
Okay, do I have a motion to issue the certificate for Haslam?
So
Mo-
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries with
Don't want to step on Ian.
Commissioner Shampoo recused. Okay, orders of conditions. So we don't have anything to do there either, do we? What do you know?
We're going for some kind of new record.
No, we're already too late.
Yeah, we missed it.
We
Yep.
started late.
Yes.
The record is 28 minutes.
Oh,
So
really?
we're way over.
We got 4 minutes, 'cause I think we started 6 minutes past. Who's counting?
Okay, approval of minutes for 6:15 and 6:21. If there's no comments on those minutes, corrections or whatever, we'll approve them by unanimous consent. Okay, so we've approved those minutes by unanimous consent. Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Gary.
Jeff, anything on enforcement actions? this
We're
afternoon?
going to have a new one for you guys next time. We have a report of some cutting out by Weeder Pond. And someone did, looks like from the photos, they undercut the understory beneath all the pine trees out there, kind of up to and adjacent to the pond. So had that to take a look at that. So this got authorization from someone to access legal light. So we'll be headed out there. Other than that, I know the most recent ones we did, we just received our certified mailing slips back. So hopefully I'll have more of an update on that as well. I know we talked before the meeting. Ben and I have both been out on the Holly Farm recently. Mine as recently as this week. And we're not seeing any real regrowth on the really severely pruned trees. I saw a little bit on the ones that still had some leaf area that was remaining from before. Not a substantial amount, but the, mark a better term, the standing poles are still just only standing poles. So, with your guys' permission, I think I'm just gonna ask the land bank to put together a plan for the replacement of the ones that aren't showing any signs of life. So that by the time we get that reviewed, we can look again, but at least then we have the plan in place for the fall, so they can get started. I don't really know another. We kind of need to wait and see if there was any signs of life, and there have been zero.
Yeah, I'd say put, kind of put her on notice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're working on the rest of the plan for it,
Yep.
and they were kind of, let's see if we get some regrowth, but at this point, I would envision that you would see something.
You'd see something.
Some sort of
I
blood
think
out
you
or
would
brain
see
Yeah,
something.
I think you'd see something.
You can
Yeah.
see the bugs.
And there's none.
Right.
No surprise.
And then the other one are, I know it's 65 and 67, Easton Street.
Oh, Easton's.
That's, or it was 2 North Beach Street before, it's the one we all know from it. We've been in contact with their attorney multiple times now, and sent them some information and put it together. And I believe it sounds like the response to our enforcement is that they are going to be filing suit against the town. So we'll see. I turned it over to George and said, figure out what's going on, and if we need to bring you in to see what it is. I think they're feeling that the comment from their attorney is they don't feel that coming in with an application that they would be getting a fair review at this point.
So they're just gonna circumvent the Concom?
Why? Well, that's the thing is, even if they sued the town and prevailed, there's still no way for them to not have to apply, because that's the only process that's in
Right.
place. So, that's, I don't know if, to be honest, if they did file it, I haven't been served the papers yet. I don't know on what grounds it would be that they have to follow the same rules as everyone else. So, that's kind of where we are with that.
Wow.
So I will say at the same time, if it finally just puts an end to it once and for all, if the court orders that they have to do what they are supposed to be doing, then that's hopefully means that it's over. So, because there's no running away from that. So, we'll see. George is supposed to be giving me an update about that by the end of this week or starting next week. So, but that's where we are with enforcement.
Anything on emergency certifications tonight?
No.
Okay, reports. CPC,
I missed the meeting.
no NP and EDC, mosquito control.
I unfortunately missed the meeting as well, so I got word that I'm vice chair.
Congratulations, that's what happens when you miss meetings.
Seriously. I do have brochures from the committee if all of you want to take one to look at.
I would.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I have them in Spanish as well,
take
if
English.
that's something that you
how about in
guys
spades?
have some down.
I'll take one of each, we need to practice.
Spanish, don't want to be sure.
Okay, great, thank you. Commissioners' comments, anybody have anything they want to discuss tonight or throw out?
What's going on with the Pocomo cutting that went on?
We just got their receipt card back on Monday. So they have it. I haven't heard from them. So if the contact information is good, at some point, if I haven't heard back from them, probably by the end of the week or start of next week, we may just go knock on their door. This is the time of year where it's really nice because a lot of people are actually here.
All right.
So they can't run it high.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of being right around the 4th. It's the big time. So we're really looking for someone.
Hello.
But I would anticipate probably hearing from, I would be willing to bet they're going to have some sort of representative.
Yeah, right. Okay.
It's my gut feeling. So,
Jeff, when do we need to have something together to get a warrant in town meeting, right, to get you?
soon. Well, they haven't put a call out yet for those things. So I am tracking that very actively to make sure that we can do that.
You mean the special meeting this fall or next?
For the special meeting.
Special meeting.
so that Jeff can issue tickets out.
Hmm.
Then I can give you guys my traffic fee structure for tickets.
Yeah, that's siren.
Publish it in the note. Well, it's just something simple like missing monitoring reports. Just a way to incentivize compliance.
10% of the gross cost of the project.
That would be
No,
amazing.
that would be
But
amazing.
that would also be well above and would require a criminal proceeding. That's why we max out at $300. That's the maximum non-criminal complaint fine. But we can issue that daily.
I was about to say deal.
So I'm not saying we would do that for a missing monitoring report. So here's a $300 ticket every day until it shows up. But we could put a system in place that was noticed so people knew, and that way when the tickets started going out, it'd be similar to what the Board of Health does, where they just say, hey, here's your friendly reminder for the first time. Now it's going to cost you $50. Second time is when we start accruing penalties. So, but now I have to have the chief of police do it. Last time I talked to him about a ticket and tried to explain what the violation was. He's like, I can definitely see that there's something wrong, but I would have no idea how to explain it. It would just be an easier way to do it. And it's something that they're busy enough, they don't need to be getting my request for citations to be issued. But I issue citations for other agencies of the town, not the ones that I'm responsible for. So, good times.
And just so you guys are aware of it, I think it was Emily and Kelly from the foundation talked with Kira out at DPW, and now there's a bin out there for disposal of invasive species into a bin that then they will dump into the digester. So we have a bin, right over that little fence there that people can just dump things in.
Oh, that's good.
Between glass and metal.
Between glass and metal, can you get in there with, what do they do in situations where you have a truckload of
You
it?
go down to the
Just go
scale
down to the
house.
scale
and
house,
then
they
it's
can
a
do that.
straight
Is it,
to
do
the-
they charge for it, do you know? I haven't.
No.
Okay.
Are there
But they have a separate category code for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
are there any photos out there so that people going through know what these invasives are?
It's in Cormac's basement, if I
Not
understand.
really.
Well,
I have a sign that I'm sort of trying to get together, but I mean, there's only so much education you can do with the dumpster.
Right.
But there are some images on the sign, but hopefully at least, and then there's a couple links for more information, like resources listed there, so.
And we should remind people that they don't welcome soil or sand into the composter, so we have to,
Well, and the thing too is someone should go and make sure that Holgate's and Toscana know that the dump is accepting it, because I've talked to landscapers who dump at just those places and they won't take invasives, so these like rogue crews are just dumping the invasives. Like they don't
Right.
understand that the dump does take that stuff.
Right, yeah, that's, we gotta get that out there for sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
okay.
Those big speakers.
Yeah. Somebody.
Okay, anything, Jeff?
I have one more thing, real quickly, since Ben, Dave, and Andy were successfully reappointed to the commission for another 3-year sentence a week ago.
Did we make it?
Yes. So you guys are back on.
Check
So
your lucky
2019, as weird as it is to say. But that being said, we are
2019, all right.
we are scheduled for our yearly slate of officer appointments, but I have to post that as an agenda item. And the question I had is I usually do it for the first one, but I knew there was going to be someone missing. Would you like me to post that for the first meeting after Andy is back, when I believe we'll have a full board, or do you guys want to do it next week? Wait till everybody's here.
Yeah, we should wait, give him a chance to
So
change his mind.
I know he's going to miss one more meeting. So,
I'll see if we can continue on Ernie's iron hand.
yeah, so we will. I will post that. It's usually the first thing of the meeting, so I'll do that night. So I would say if any commissioners have any interest in being chair or vice chair, they may think about it.
Nice job.
So,
I like Ernie in the position myself.
so
I think Andy's gonna take over.
Is it?
I
Well,
think so.
that's a discussion we can have.
Yeah, we'll have that, we'll talk about that.
So,
Let's just vote. Can't we just vote Andy into a position?
well, I haven't,
It's
Haven't actually.
If we have it on the agenda.
As soon as you're out for a meeting, you come
I
back.
know. They warned me that might happen.
the good news for this board is, thanks to Terry being here, the completely uncoveted position of secretary is not something that you guys have to.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because that is always the worst in every
Somebody.
board where you're like, chair, and someone's like, I'll do it, and vice chair, oh, but then you get the secretary and everyone sits on their hands. And in my experience, especially if you're a lawyer that's on the board, someone always tries to push you into secretary because they think you're good at keeping notes. But we fortunately have Terry. So that's it for me. So I'll add that not to the next week, not the 13th, but the 27th. I will add that on. So if anyone looks at their schedule and sees they will not be there, let me know when we can move it again, but not to dilly-dally too long.
That sounds good, yeah.
And that same night, we'll also go over at the same time then if anyone wants to rotate on or off committees or try to do anything. You're stuck, because you were appointed through other means
Yeah.
now, so. But for other things, CPC and MPD. All right.
Okay, in that case, do I have a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, we're done for the night.